Yeah. Max, it was so lovely to see you again after all these years, because you were at Wythenshawe.
I was, yes. I was over at Wythenshawe for about 23 years.
Yeah.
And then came over here just as COVID hit. So the stroke unit was closed. That's obviously probably when we lost Interact.
Yes.
And we came over to Trafford General.
And it's lovely for us that you've come, because of course none of the other staff actually knew us here except you. So that you're going to be our champion here.
Oh, well, I'm pleased about that.
Yeah.
I do think it's a really valuable service. And it was nice to have people back that I remembered from the stroke unit over at Wythenshawe.
Yeah.
So I do think it's lovely to have you back over here, and we welcome you back at Trafford.
That's great. And your role here is as are you an occupational therapist?
So I'm a therapy practitioner, so I work mainly with OT.
Yeah.
So I did the foundation group. I've worked in stroke for about 25 years.
Right.
Yes.
And how have you found the improvement with the patients when Interact have been in?
I think it's a great improvement, because obviously, as we were saying a little bit earlier today, I think you need patients to be motivated, to be the mood, to be settled so that they'll engage in therapy.
Yeah.
And I think just having the interaction with people on the ward, whether you're going to be just discussing daily life, daily routines, or whether you're going to be reading or doing some poetry, and just letting them engage with yourselves, I think it's beneficial. And you can see that people do. It's a long day in hospital. Yeah. And I think they need that stimulation.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that Sue Twist was reading over there in Wythenshawe was at Nab's End. Was that the thing you mentioned?
Yeah. And Peter used to read that one, so it was quite a regular request. And so much so that I remembered it, and I said to you both, didn't I, today, that there was a certain book that patients asked for, and it was nice that you could have that continuity, that patients could then pick up again a week later and continue with the story. Yeah. And again, I just think it's so great that patients have that available to them.
So great, and often we find it with patients, they want to retell the story, and we've heard therapists say, oh yeah, they'll actually retell it to us during their therapy, which is great for the memory. And
but I think with stroke patients as well, Emma, we've got a lot of patients that have got visual impairments, patients that loved reading, and get really upset that they've either got double vision, blurred vision, and can't read things anymore. And to have somebody reading to you is lovely. Yeah. You know, so I think they really appreciate that.
Great. Well, we're so thrilled that you're here. Thanks for welcoming us so much. And we've got a new team here in Trafford, but you know Sue Twist, the actress from previous days.
I think that we just had a look, because you gave us some leaflets before as well, which we will speak again about the home service that you're offering as well.
Yeah, well that's something we'd really love to push through the community service, hopefully. But thank you so much for talking to us and for all the support you're giving to the team.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Fantastic.
It's lovely to have you back on board.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Emma.
Okay.